Good morning, Paul. Debbie Callahan, Las Vegas.
Hey, Debbie, welcome. Hey, you got the honors. The call has now been lost. Congratulations to everybody for getting on the Go Diamond Poker call for November the 13th. I tell you what, where has November gone? That's what happens when they say that time flies and you're having fun. And we having fun here at Teach International. I tell you, feel so blessed every single day that I'm able to wake up and have my down to an 11-second commute. I get really good gas mileage too, and I love that because it's just a whole different world today because of this incredible business here at Teach International, and it's all made possible through the incredible vision of our founder, Mr. Brailsford. So grateful that he had a heart for people. Certainly, as we all know, if you know the story, that Mr. Brailsford did not need to do this, but he did it out of passion and out of the need to go ahead and serve humanity. And I'm so grateful, and hopefully that's your motive here as well. And certainly we know that this is a business, and the business pays us quite well. But one of the key things that I believe is important to talk a little bit about that is the culture in your business. What is the culture in your business today as people are getting started? And what are the steps that we're having them to take? And how does that make us feel with the process we're putting them through with the results? And the reason we're going to go through that as far as the emotional impact of how that causes, how that makes us feel, is that ties right into one of the most important cornerstones of network marketing, and that is the power of personal development. Okay, it's been said many times, network marketing is nothing more than a personal development program with a compensation plan. And so that's why one of the things that I try to weave into every single one of the training calls, it's not about the X's and O's, ladies and gentlemen. Those have to be done. Don't get me wrong. But that is not what creates wealth in this industry. Okay? The X's and O's by themselves, experts in the back office, that's not what gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually getting your people started correctly because you have got the right mindset. And that's where the personal development comes in. So before we get started, I did want to go ahead and share a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. So grateful for our company to actually in our back office allow us to go ahead and make contributions to the victims in the typhoon in the Philippines. Our heart goes out to them. I encourage you to spend some time thinking about how we can support these people with not just sending our checks, but also, really reaching out with the social networking that we have available to be able to go ahead and connect with people. Sometimes people just need to know, that you care about them. And so I just encourage you to reach out to these people. And then the other thing that when you look at that, at just devastation, is you look at how grateful we have, how much we have to be grateful for in the country, and certainly within this company. And so hopefully that your heart is just overfilling with gratitude for the abundance that we've been given here. So it's my hope that we are able to go ahead and really just do our best to try to outgive the universe. It's one of the tenets that I try to have in life is just to go ahead and, make it a game. See what you can do to try to outgive the universe. And, boy, I tell you what, it just seems to me that the more that you give, the more the universe gives back to you. It's really part of the design of nature, the abundance. One apple seed, one watermelon seed, one squash seed, whatever the case might be. It doesn't just bring you a few more; it brings you an abundance, overflowing. I hope that we can get that sense, ladies and gentlemen. More blessed to give than to receive. And certainly we want to go ahead and make ourselves known to the people that need a helping hand today out in the Philippines. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly with this incredible company, the resources, the abundance that we have available to us, it is so feasible for us to put ourselves in a position to reach out and give to these people. So I just encourage you, to connect with those individuals and certainly have yourself to be one of those people that is a difference maker in your community. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, certainly the Vija Life Unlimited Tour is off and running. It's still continuing. Very excited about what's going on. We've got meetings, in just a couple of weeks, out at international meetings that are going to be out in Norway. Excited about some of my team that's going to be out there. And hopefully what you're doing, for example, this Thursday we've got Edmonton, Canada. Friday we've got Saskatoon, Canada. Saturday we've got Vancouver. Thursday of next week, very exciting. It's going to be Rancho Cucamonga, California, and then Saturday is going to be Emeryville, California on the 23rd. And so what that really means to us is how can we go ahead and take advantage of that? How can we take advantage of all the resources our company has given to us, our system? Certainly the corporate support is just unprecedented in my opinion. But in addition, the field support. What you sense here at Siege International is people working together as a team. We call ourselves Siege Nation. We are a nation. We all have a culture of caring for people. And again, for me, it's about trying to outgive the universe. What can I give back that is in greater abundance than what I've received, if you will, paying it forward? Well, Life Unlimited Tour is one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. Let's face it, every single one of us wouldn't even be here today on this call unless somebody cared enough about us to say, hey, listen, I'll go back to one of the first people in the entire company, Hazel Harry. We was her on the line. She does an incredible job promoting her market down there in Atlanta. You know what? A person reached out and said, you need to take a look at this company. Now, that was almost 7 years ago, right, Hazel? So that's a long time ago for Siege Nation. But you know what? Maybe there's somebody on the line today that this is just your first day in the Siege family, in Siege Nation. So we want to share with you a little bit about, what we can do to move our business forward, and taking advantage of the Life Unlimited Tour. One of the key things about the Life Unlimited Tour is it kind of ties us right into what we do here at Siege International, and that is that, we get them in, we keep them in, and we move them along, right? That's been said many, many times as very wise words in this industry. But really, when you think about it, each one of those is a separate step. We're going to talk a little bit about that today in the process of getting people started right. And that is get them in, keep them in, move them along. Get them in. I'm not even going to really touch on that, ladies and gentlemen, because that's been handled so well, so effectively by some of the top recruiters in the entire industry. For me personally, I don't know of anybody else in the industry that's been top recruiter 3 or 4 consecutive years, in a row, such as our dear trainer here, Mr. Dale Taylor, my beloved friend of mine. You know what? I leave that to Dale. Okay, he shows us how to go ahead and get them in, how to sponsor people, how to recruit people into Siege International, taking responsibility for them. That's what getting them in is all about. Taking them through that process of letting them see the Siege story from a business perspective or a product perspective. Okay. Now, so get them in. That kind of speaks for itself, and we've got some incredible trainers that have done a phenomenal job with that. But however, keep them in. One of the things that may be a little bit challenging for us is that we get people in, but we just don't see them move forward. I think if we were in a room, we'd have a few people raising their hands right at this point, saying, "Yeah, I can relate to that." Well, one of the things about keeping them in that's so crucial, ladies and gentlemen, is taking responsibility to plug them in to a system. With a system, it's been shared many, many times. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. And one thing about a system is it gives you a predictable, expected outcome with one caveat: the people that stay engaged. And so one of the key things about leadership, and this is a leadership call, the Go Diamond Focus call today. It's for leaders. It's the people that just want to use the product. They're not on the call today, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody that you heard on the call today, they want to be a leader on their team. They want to be a leader in each nation. See, the Go Diamond Focus call is about focusing your energy to lead people, and if you will, keep them in the business. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, of how to go ahead and keep them in. I think one of the biggest the biggest challenges people have to after we get them in and how to keep them in is to know what to do. And so one of the key things that I wanted to go over is I just wanted to go over a few fundamentals that are absolutely key to keeping them in. Now, I love what Vince Lombardi has always trained on. He's typically known as one of the greatest coaches in athletics of all time, one of the greatest leaders. Just an incredible motivator. But one of the things that Vince Lombardi did is he often took his football team back to the fundamentals. He was known to take his team and lock them up in the locker room at halftime if they weren't doing well in the first half, and he would take out a whiteboard completely nothing on it, and he'd hold up a football and he'd say, "Gentlemen, this is a football," and he would proceed to take the best football players in the world back through the fundamentals. And certainly that's what you see here at Teams International with the top teams, the top income earners in the company, is that they have been able to go ahead and really become good at the fundamentals. And I believe keeping them in is all based on the fundamentals. And then we're going to move just very briefly into move them along, but that's what I'm going to cover on my next Go Diamond Focus call. So for today, we're going to just focus on what do we do to keep them in, okay? And I think that one of the key tenets of keeping people in the system, keeping them plugged in the system, it's very much like, plugging in a refrigerator, for example, plugging in any power tool. Unless you have that electrical outlet or some sort of energy, guess what? It is going to be a really good-looking toy. Okay? It's not going to do what it's designed to do. So I think one of the key aspects of keeping people in this and engaged in the system is, as a leader, inspect what you expect. I would write that down in capital letters. Inspect what you expect. And there's a way to do that, ladies and gentlemen. One of the key things is that we have a Saturday morning training call that is just it's really instrumental in moving people along, because when people come in, ladies and gentlemen, after we get them in and we're in the process of keeping them in, one of the key things we have to remember is that their belief and their enthusiasm is very similar to an hourglass. In essence, there's only so much sand in the top of the hourglass before it gets turned over. And what that sand stands for rather, is nothing more than what we do here at GH International, and build belief. See, when people come into the business, we've got them in the business, they're using the products, they're having more energy, and how do we keep them in? We build belief. And one of the key things is that hourglass, that we've all seen, for example, in The Wizard of Oz, guess what? That hourglass here with network marketing and media, it has an ability for us to take the top off and add more belief, add more sand, if you will. Well, how do we add more sand to that hourglass? And here's why we want to add more sand. Very simply put, is that you've got about 72 hours minimum, and maybe a week maximum. When somebody comes into the business, if you haven't, as a leader, inspected what you expect. Now, one of the things that good leaders do is they don't wait even 72 hours, ladies and gentlemen. They are on the phone inspecting what you expect within 24 hours, talking to their brand new people for a couple of very simple reasons. The fact of the matter is that they have been able to go and actually put themselves in a position to guide that person with a system. And part of our system is what I think one of the things that is often overlooked is how well, and I'm going to focus on this for just a few minutes, how well put together is your welcome letter. Okay? How well put together is your welcome letter? Do you have a welcome letter that shows people the steps to success, if you will, the path to success? Okay? And by the way, speaking of path to success, in my welcome letter, I have attached a path to success. And why? Because I want them to start understanding that there's action steps assigned to being able to be successful in this business. And for that matter, being successful with the product. Isn't it interesting that we have all this knowledge about our incredible product line? But I like to boil it down to this. And I say this kind of out of self-defense sometimes, because with my background in cellular biology, people are always interested in more information about these products, especially now with our line expanding. And you know, all the science is just very interesting, I'd say. Very interesting. But I like to put it in this way. The product works a lot better when you take it. And the reason I'm getting into that is that it's really just the fundamentals here that make everything work. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if we don't take action steps, whether it's to take the product or whether to engage in the system with getting brand new people a welcome letter out, very, very important that they receive in a very short order of time. I like to do it within 24 hours. Okay? Now, by the way, I'm referring to business people. Okay? People that you bring into the business that are business-minded, that receive a welcome letter that shows them the steps to success. Okay? And one of the key things that I do in my welcome letter is, and it's pretty much a template, if you will, that's been put together by my coach and my mentor and our team here. And there's different teams all around the company within ZJ Nation, of course. But then our team, the Discover Miranda team, we have ours. We have our website. We have a template. And one of the things that I like about people that are getting started brand new is I like to ask them a question. And that is, have they actually gone to the team website? That's the big team here at ZJ International underneath David Moses, one team worldwide. And have they actually watched the video, Am I Coachable? Now, one of the things that when that first came out, it resonated with me when David put that around, because again, it's going back to the fundamentals, okay? Of, you know, what we say, wax on, wax off. That's one of the buzzwords that we have on the team, is that, you know, when people are really engaged in the proper action steps, the proper activities, you know, it's on, wax off. And interestingly enough, that many times we want to put ourselves in a position to ask questions before we take action. And, you know, to a degree, once you have enough information from your coach, it's just best to take action. And that's what Am I Coachable is all about. So I like people to know that it can be a process of understanding some of these steps, but really doing the steps is more important than just understanding. And so the welcome letter is designed to go ahead and guide people step by step. And, you know, the welcome letter is very simple. It's an introduction of yourself, welcoming them to your team, to the family, and giving them the back office information about how to get into their back office. And then the key thing that we want to do with that welcome letter is get them engaged in the process of writing some goals. Okay, and it's built right into a big part of getting people started right. And it's ZJ University, ladies and gentlemen. And so within your welcome letter, what we do is that we have people engaged in the process of actually making some commitments, personal commitments, having some personal goals, financial goals, as well as maybe health goals, maybe personal development goals, whatever that case might be. Obviously, one of the most important goals that we want for people is to go ahead and speak to them and with them, engage with them on a really almost a daily basis, and that is about Team 250. Okay, the speed qualification for people in Team 250 is just so, it's just so simple, okay? And it's easy to do, as Jim Rohn says, but it's also easy not to do, okay? And as I like to say, it's easier not to do it. And so the point is that I want people engaged in getting qualified for Team 250. Now, one of the key things about keeping people in, get them in, man, is that they stay engaged with you because you have a path to success for them that they can follow. In other words, it's up to us as leaders to take responsibility to inspect what we expect that they've taken these steps, okay? And so one of the things I've known to do is I just call people up, and I just ask them, hey, listen, did you get that welcome letter? Great. And interestingly enough, by the way, people that are really assigned, when they get a business letter, a welcome letter, something of that significance, and it is quite significant, gentlemen, if you think about it, they will actually just send a response back. I do that all the time with my mentors and people that send me business information that's really pertinent to my business. Thank you so much. We'll get on it. In other words, it tells them I've got the information. But anyways, that's just a little aside here, a little caveat. But what my point is that they're now engaged with me, and I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to engage with your people. Ask them if they received the welcome letter. What part of it are you on right now? What step are you on right now? Are you scheduled to go ahead and be involved next, Saturday morning training? Are you scheduled for the next event, whether it's a super study, a Life Unlimited tour? Letting them know, because remember, ladies and gentlemen, their life has been very full before CEJA. Matter of fact, 100% of their 24/7 time available, it was filled. So what we have to do is create value for them to scoot some of that stuff aside. Maybe put away the Scooby-Doo cartoons on Saturday morning, right? Believe it or not, I've had people say that to me. Okay? But my point is that we have to create a value being engaged with them. That's how you keep your people in, ladies and gentlemen. And the key things I like to do is help people with their goals. See, most of us have not even taken time to actually, think about life, think about goals. We get in our remote control, as it's been said many times. The only difference between a grave and a rut is that the rut has the end kicked out. And what I'm referring to is the commonality, most people's lives where they've lived before CEJA, okay? And so what I encourage you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is schedule some time with them to go ahead and follow up with them about those goals, help them write those goals of making, first of all, Team 250, making $500 within the first couple of weeks or a month, whatever the case might be. But then the key thing also, ladies and gentlemen, and this is one of the things that I think is really so important, is to inspect what you expect, and that is to go ahead and have the ability to go ahead and walk them through the process of whether or not they did. CEJA University. In other words, CEJA University has 4 different steps, ladies and gentlemen. It's got the orientation, it's got videos, it's got documentation. It's very well done. It's what I call one-stop shopping for keeping them in. Okay, and so that orientation is really important for people because people, need to know what kind of path they're on. It's been said many, many times that a confused mind does nothing. Okay? And step number 2 of the CEJA University is Marketing 101. Have you walked people through that process to see where they're at? See, because the key thing about keeping people engaged in the system is that you are engaged with them. Remember, their lives were full before we came into their lives. So we have to create the value that they want to carve out some of those other things they spent their time on before they came into CEJA. And so take time to go in and see where they're at. Answer their question about, what questions did you have about the orientation process? Any of the videos that you found to be most interesting? Did you like that fast start training with Chris Estes, or did you get to watch the CEJA conversation plan with David Moses, or what's your thoughts on the marketing trends with and beauty products with Mike Sims, okay? So in other words, you're engaging with them, and that's probably one of the biggest things that people forget, ladies and gentlemen, is that, we're not done because we got it in the business and they're going to make us rich. And I've had people say that to me, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is that they have this perception that we're done with them, and these people have to get perks so we can get rich. And, sir, that's an extreme view, but my point is, it's totally contrary to what we should be doing. And that is, we should be engaged with these people at a higher level. I like to put prospecting in this way, and that is, prospect, in other words, you're constantly engaged in exposing yourself to new people, getting new people in the pipeline, and so you're constantly just in the process of meeting new people. But one of the key things about keeping them in is that once you meet a new person that's in your business, then you say, wow, so keep moving on. Put them on your calendar where you spend time to build their belief. If you will, put more sands in the hourglass. And so I just encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to understand that scheduling, for example, part of the welcome letter should be scheduling your grand opening, okay? Scheduling a time where you can begin that process of helping them with their what I call the grand opening, or, their initial business reception, their PBR. Okay. Now, again, on our team, what we have is we have a document. It's a 7-step process on how to go ahead and actually do a push play PBR. Anybody can do it. You don't have to have a double flip back emerald diamond executive in your living room to do your grand opening. Matter of fact, contrary, I prefer not to do that for people, because I want to know whether they are actually engaged in the business of responsibility for their business for that media resources DVD. It's so simple to go ahead and do a push play PBR, and then that's what you want. You want to duplicate that process of people, doing those multiple PBRs, not waiting for one person to be in their living room, in my opinion. Now, do we do live PBRs? Absolutely. But the fact is, I do those for people that have already engaged in the initial steps, or basically the action steps. Did they take action to get through the Seeds University? Did they take action to write their goals? Did they take action to schedule their push-play PBR? Did they get engaged with what we call on our team, a PBR coach, somebody that walks them through the process of how to do a push-play PBR? And one of the things that's so interesting about PBRs is that everybody wants to have that magic PBR with 30, 40, 50, 100, and I've been in PBRs much bigger than that, ladies and gentlemen, that has, basically changed a person's life as well as a market sometimes. And we all want those events. But what we don't want is those events when we have a PBR, when we have certainly no shows are not something we want, or even just one or two people. Why? Because it lacks the social proof that the business is actually working, in the way it's designed to, a relationship business. And so how do these PBRs occur that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 people in them? Very simple. They prepared. Okay, in other words, they worked with somebody that's gone before them. You see, one of the things that's an illustration about Vince Lombardi's work and with his players is that he didn't reinvent the system. He just took them back to the fundamentals. And one of the fundamentals of keeping them in is making sure that they have the process of what steps they need to take. But it's our job, ladies and gentlemen, to take them through the process of, do they even know how to do a PBR? Okay? And see, one of the things that I look for is I look for people that pick up the phone and say, I want to do excellent at this. I don't want to just get this done. I want to do excellent. And that's when I know I've got somebody that's coachable, because see, at that point they've already watched the Am I Coachable video, and they already understand wax on, wax off. And so I take them through this process. And so when we're in the process of doing the PBR preparation, of making the list, for example, of showing them how to do the invitation, presentation, validation, making sure that at that point that they've been lifelined. I mean, before I do a PBR for somebody, I want to make sure that they have met my upline. Why? For a lot of different reasons, but one of them is that what What if there is a hot shot, if you will, a thoroughbred that comes in the doors of their PBR, and you know what? I want to get that person connected that night to to the top leadership in my line of business. That's what you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. So getting back to the fundamentals is absolutely key. And that's what I wanted to do today, ladies and gentlemen, is take us back to that process of, am I coachable with the fundamentals? Am I able to go and engage in the right process of action steps? And as a leader, and everybody I'm speaking with on the phone today, as a leader, am I engaging with them so that they know the right next step? So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this has been helpful. Just get them in, keep them in, move them along. Very simple. But ladies and gentlemen, it's easy to do, but it's easier not to correctly. Okay? And so the next time that I have the privilege to do a focus call, we're gonna talk a little bit about how to move them along, how to, if you will, how to work in depth, how to create duplication. But as we all know, duplication doesn't occur unless it's with us. Okay? And that's what I wanted to really focus on today with keeping them in. Let it begin with us. Leader of one, leader of many. If I can't lead one, I can't lead any. Here's what we do know about the great leaders like the General Pattons. The ladies and gentlemen, they didn't say, hey, you guys go take that hill and come back and write a report and we can talk about it. What General Patton said, follow me, let's go take that. That was his mindset. That's what we as leaders should be doing with people that are brand new business. Follow me. I'm going to show you how to set up your goals. I'm going to show you how to walk through Siege University. I'm going to show you the process of where you should be in understanding the fundamentals. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and work on your testimonials, your story, so on and so forth, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I wanted to leave with you today. Congratulations. I'm so proud of the fact that this company is just making headways all over health and wellness. We're impacting the entire country with health and wellness because we have products that matter to people, and we've got a system that's just unsurpassed, in my opinion. I've been in this industry, well over 15, it's about 18 years now. Here's what I will say, ladies and gentlemen, is I've never seen a company like this with the support, the field leadership, the field unity, and that's not by accident. It's all done by design by our incredible founder, Ken Brailsford. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to go ahead and remind everybody that we have our call tonight with Russ Bianchi, an opportunity to go and hear about the product. Great opportunity call to expose people to the product and then take them to the next step of putting them on a business call tomorrow night, Thursday, with looking at our business, our income opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and find out if there's anybody else that actually has anybody on the moderator line that'd like to make a few quick comments or any quick announcements about the Siege Tour or anything else that they have on their heart at this point.
Good afternoon, Paul. This is David Alvin. Thank you for your knowledge and education, as always, well learned. I want to announce, as everybody should know if they're on their game, November 23rd, Emeryville, Hilton Gardens and Senior Event Center. Please get pre-registered so corporate knows what's going to be there. There's only so many seats, and it's going to be to the top. It's very little time that we have. We've got David Moses, Russ Bianchi, and Chris Dexter in the same room here in California. So get the people there because nobody that walks in will walk out the same person. Thank you.
Oh, you got that right. Absolutely right, Dave. Matter of fact, I'm going to be in the Bay Area next week. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a great event. Excited about what's going on with that event. And ladies and gentlemen, you get them in that room, and I'll tell you what, we will take care of them for you. Right, Dave? So, ladies and gentlemen, with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and unmute the lines. I went over just a little bit today, but I want to cover those fundamentals.